Okay, this day is really dang. God knows what the cleaners were making. They were exploited, of course, and saying that they're saying that there were undocumented workers all over the South who had it far worse doesn't excuse it, nor does pointing out that it was 40 years ago. Although there was this, they never had to put on the fur. Neither did Aaron, Tom, and I did. On the night before our first day at work, the three of us were sitting in the parlor of Maison Chaplot, getting to know each other and speculating on the summer ahead. As we talked, the moon rose over the Atlantic, as calmly beautiful as the though my father and I had been standing on the railroad tracks. It's an amusement park, for God's sake, Aaron said. How tough can it be? Easy for you to say, Tom told her. No one's going to expect you. No one's going to expect you to hose down the whirly cups after every brat in Cub Scout pack 18 loses his lunch halfway through the ride. I'll pitch in where I have to, she said. If it includes mopping up vomit as well as snapping pictures, so be it. I need this job. I've got grad school staring me in the face next year, and I'm exactly 2 steps from broke. We all ought to try and get on the same team, Tom said, and as it turned out, we did. All the work teams at Joyland had doggy names, and ours was Team Beagle. Just then, Emelina Shoplaw entered the parlor, carrying a tray with 5 champagne flutes on it. Miss Ackley, a beanpole with huge be spec spec be spec bespectacled uh, bespectacled eyes that gave her a Joyce Carol o Ostinian o o oats o Ziggy. How do you pronounce the word Oatesin?
That's an interesting word. Let me help you with the pronunciation. That's an interesting word you're asking about. It's pronounced O2 sin with the emphasis on the first syllable.
Otushin, 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 Otushin. Ziggy. No. Mm-mm. Otushin, Otushin. Stop. Prolific, intense, and often dark literary style of it's a lyric. It's a it's a dark literary style. That's crazy. Then what does be spectacled? Be spectacled.
Bespectacled. Bespectacled. Bespectacled.
Bespectacled. Bis 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 bespectacled. English is English in Kaisa.
Bespectacled.
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 Bespectacled. Bespectacled. That's a nice word. Bespectacled. 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 Awesome. Bespectacled. Bespectacled. amazement. I'm bespectacled. Oh, person wearing eyeglasses. That is a bespectacled youth. That's a bespectacled adult. Oats, Ocean, 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 Ocean. Literary style. Describe a native gritty gothic. Ocean look. Gave her a Joyce Carol Ocean look. Walked beside her, bottle in hand. Tom Kennedy, Brian. Do I spy French ginger ale? That looks just a little too elegant to be supermarket plunk. Champagne it is, Miss Chaplot said. Although, if you're expecting Moet Chandon, young Mr. Kennedy, you're in for a disappointment. This isn't cold duck, but it's not the high price spread either. I can't speak for my new coworkers, Tom said, but as someone who educated his Paletti, Paletti on Apple Zapple, I don't think I'll be disappointed. Miss Shaplo smiled. I'll always mark the beginning of summer this way. For good luck, it seems to work. I haven't lost a seasonal high yet. Each of you take a glass, please. We did as we were told. Tina, will you pour? When the flutes were full, Miss Shoplaw raised hers and we raised ours. Here, here is to Aaron, Tom, and Devin, she said. May they have a wonderful summer and wear the fur only when the temperature is below 80 degrees. We clinked glasses and drunk. Maybe not the high price spread, but pretty damn good. And with enough left for us to have another swallow. This time it was Tom who offered a toast. Here's to Miss Shoplaw, who gives us shelter from the storm. Why, thank you, Tom. That's lovely. It won't get you a disappointment on the rent, though. It won't get you a discount on the rent, though. We drank. I set my glass down, feeling just the teeniest bit buzzy. What is this thing? What is this about wearing the fur? I asked. Miss Shoplaw and Miss Ackley looked at each other and smiled. It was the librarian who answered, although it it wasn't really an answer at all. You find out, she said. Don't stay up late, children, Miss Choplaw advised. You've got an early call. Your career in show business awaits. The call was early, 7 a.m., 2 hours before the park opened its doors on another summer. The three of us walked down the beach together. Tom talked most of the way. He always talked. It would have been wearisome if he hadn't been so amusing and relentlessly cheerful. I could see from the way Erin walking in the surf with her sneakers dangling from the fingers of her left hand, looked at him that she was charmed and fascinated. I envied Tom his ability to do that. He was heavy set and at least three doors down from handsome. Damn, so he ugly? I envied. But he
This
was.
is a reminder. Sleep on time.
I'm not sleeping on time because
This is a
I've
reminder.
been slacking.
Sleep on time.
Alright, bro, shut up. He was heavy set and at least three doors down from handsome, but he was energetic and possessed of the gift of gab I sadly lacked. Remember the old joke about the starlet who was so clueless she fucked the writer? Man, how much do you think the people who own those places are worth? He asked, waving an arm at the houses on Beach Road. We were just passing the big green one that looked like a castle, but there was no sign of the woman and the boy in the wheelchair that day. Annie and Mike Ross came later. Millions probably, Aaron said. It ain't the Hamptons, but as my dad would say, it ain't cheeseburgers. The amusement park probably brings the property values down a little, I said. I was looking at Joyland's three most distinctive landmarks silhouetted against the blue morning sky. Thunderball, Delirium Shaker, Carolina Spin. Nah, you don't understand the rich guy mindset. Nah, you don't understand the rich guy mindset, Tom said. It's like when they pass bums looking for handouts on the street, they just erase them from their field of vision. Bums, what bums? And that park, same deal. What park? People who own these houses live like on another plane of existence. He stopped, shading his eyes and looking at the green Victorian that was going to play such a large part in my life that fall. After Aaron Cook and Tom Kennedy, by then a couple who had gone back to school. Damn, that fall. So Aaron and Tom Kennedy are already in a relationship and back to school. That that one's gonna be mine. I'll be expecting position. That one's gonna be mine. I'll be expecting to take possession on June 1st, 1987. I'll bring the champagne, Aaron said, and we all laughed. I saw Jorland's entire crew of summer hires in one place for the first and last time that morning. We gathered in Surf Auditorium, the concert hall where all those B-list country acts and aging rockers performed. There were almost 200 of us. Most, like Tom, Aaron, and me, were college students willing to work for peanuts. Some of the full timers were there as well. I saw Rosie Gold today dressed for work in her gypsy duds and dangly earrings. Lane Hardy was up on a stage, placing a mic at the podium and then checking it with a series of thudding finger taps. His derby was a present and accounted for, cocked at its usual just so angle. I don't know how he picked me I don't know how he picked me out in all those million kids, but he did, and sketched a little salute off the tilted brim of his lid. I sent him one right back. I sent him one right back. He finished his work, nodded, jumped off the stage, and took the seat Rosie had been saving for him. Fred Dean walked briskly out from the wings. Be seated, please. All of you be seated. Before you get your team assignments, the owner of Joyland and your employer would like to say a few words. Please give a hand to Mr. Bradley Easterbrook. We did as we were told, and an old man emerged from the wings, walking with the careful high-stepping strides of someone with bad hips, a bad back, or both. He was tall and amazingly thin, dressed in a black suit, and made him look more like an undertaker than a man who owned an amusement park. His face was long, pale, covered with bumps and moles. Shaving must have been torture for him, but he had a clean one. Ebony ebony hair that had surely come out of a bottle was swept back from his deeply lined brow. He stood beside the podium, his enormous hands, they seemed to be nothing but knuckles, clasped before him. His eyes were set deep in pouch sockets. Age looked at youth, and youth's applause first weakened, then died. I'm not sure what we expected. Possibly a mournful foghorn voice telling us that the Red Death would soon hold sway overall. Then he smiled, and it lit him up like a jukebox. You could almost hear a sigh of relief rustle through the summer hires. Damn, the dude looks that hideous, or am I reading it wrong? I found out later that was the summer Bradley Easterbrook turned 93. Oh my gosh. You guys, he said. You guys, he said, welcome to Joyland. And then, before stepping behind the podium, he actually bowed to us. He took several seconds adjusting the mic, which produced a series of amplified screeches and scrunks. He never took his sunken eyes from us as he did it. I see many returning faces, a thing that always makes me happy. For you greenies, I hope this will be the best summer of your lives, the yardstick by which you judge all your future employment. That is no doubt an extravagant wish, but anyone who runs a place like this year in year out must have a wide streak of extravagance. For certain, you'll never have another job like it. He surveyed us, giving the giving the poor mice articulated neck another twist as he did so. So a quick summary of what I just read. Devin is on summer break now. He's working at his new job, working at Joyland. It's his first day. He's getting the introduction, meeting with his two new co-workers, and he's getting the rundown, the experience, basically. That's what I got. But yeah, that's it for me. Ziggy, stop.